Welcome back to another episode of Fail or Fire, the series where we tell you whether something's a fail, fire, or just plain mid. I'm your host, the great Thundarius, God of Thunder, and I am joined by my absolutely fire-ass co-hosts.
And it hates the sun, Shades.
And Louis the Lightning Bug. Wait, no, I'm Dylan.
And ironically enough, both of us hate the sun even more than you do.
Burns.
And we are Cyber Skull Media. We are stepping back into the Cyber Skull Theater to bring you another movie trailer. We're going to cover Kraven. Now, there was an initial trailer that dropped a while back, but this movie, I think, got pushed. And there's a new trailer making the rounds, and it's got quite a mixed reaction. A lot of people like it, a lot of people don't like it. Apparently there's a lot of fighting. Guess we'll find out. Now, I already know the answer to this, but how familiar with Kraven are you, Shades?
No.
How you, Dylan?
I am very familiar. One of my favorite Spider-Man villains, some of the best story arcs in the Spider-Man series. Very curious to see how they do this film, as Kraven is absolutely despicable, brutal. He's an absolute menace in the comics, so I'm a little apprehensive to see him be a lead. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, he's one of Spider-Man's rogue galleries. He's a founding member of the Sinister Six, and that's not to say he hasn't had comics with other people, but he's mainly a Spider-Man villain. He was in the animated series and several other things, but they're trying to make him an anti-hero, I think, in this. And he's just supposed to be a straight-up villain, but I don't know. I don't remember the initial trailer other than it's got Quicksilver in it.
Mr. Aaron Taylor Johnson from Kick-Ass.
Which I like him. I like him. And he's in quite a few things that I enjoy.
Bullet Train.
Bullet Train was great. It was a good, fun popcorn flick. I guess we'll see how this goes.
My son, we are hunters, the greatest the world has ever known.
Охотник до сказки.
HD, it feels a little not HD, but
Каждый сказки есть правда.
Who's next?
Fast.
you'll have no idea what's happening. But we got a little bit of action. Got to show a little bit of his strength off. If you're not familiar with him, you're still very much confused as to what's happening. And even though we know who he is, I'm still very confused.
I heard the noise of thunder.
Heard the noise of Thundy?
Are you like your father, a gangster?
That John Goodman.
No, it's the Russell. There we go. The trailer is super low quality for some reason, even though it says it's HD.
Apologies, Mr. Crowe. You've let yourself go a bit.
Well, it's for a movie, sir.
I mean, he's had more than one role where he's put a bunch of weight on for it.
A killer?
And I heard a voice. And behold.
Hey, look, guys, he's hunting. Kraven the Hunter is hunting.
You see that?
Yeah, he got a bear trap to the face, dog.
Ooh,
That's gonna hurt in the morning.
that'll leave a mark.
Hell followed with him.
Well, that was pretty dope. I'm not gonna lie. I like the eyes.
Man, he can do all this outside of prison? How did they even keep him in prison?
My biggest concern is we got a Spider-Man villain in a universe with no Spider-Man. I don't know how any of this works.
They did it with Venom.
Movie magic, man.
Yeah, but we're not really here to talk about Venom.
There's a man going round taking names,
My son.
and he decides who to free and who to blame.
Yes, an animal stronger than you can imagine.
The hairs on your arm.
See that shit on his arm?
He's gonna need some ointment.
I think he's gonna need a little bit more than Jergens for that, dog.
You can imagine.
The hairs on your arm will stand up.
Tell me about this hunter.
Some are born and some are died.
Once you're on his list, there's only one way off.
When the man comes around. When the
I'm gonna open it.
Getting some very John Wick vibes from that scene.
And he stole Bane's vest.
Bane doesn't wear a vest. Not like that.
The Dark Knight Rises.
That's not Bane, dog.
Yes, it is.
Chuck Dixon would disagree.
Let's not stand on ceremony.
think you're some kind of honor, some kind of code.
The unjust.
You're
Ouch. That was like Dances with Wolves.
just another man
Whoever is righteous,
hunting for a trophy,
let him be righteous still.
just like our father.
When the man comes around. When the man comes around.
Embrace who you really are.
Oh, hey, he's actually in costume somewhat with that. There we go. Got his trademark puffy fur vest, his necklace. I mean, he's definitely not as big as Kraven is in the comics by far.
Feel like I remember somebody like that back in the day, but
It's deep in the recesses of your mind.
Son,
Oh shit, we got Rhino.
I think that's what was happening earlier. That guy was turning into Rhino.
It's interesting compared to like Rhino in the comics.
It's better than that piece of shit mechanical Rhino suit.
Talk about Welcome to Blue Balls with Dundee. That whole scene was just a giant blue balls. We never got a follow-up fight. Maybe we'll get a semi-proper Rhino in this. Maybe they'll be like, hey, I know Spider-Man. Let's start the Sinister Six. Or maybe he'll kill him and then it won't make any sense.
and you will become a legend.
When the man comes
I doubt his insurance covers Rhino attacks.
No policy will touch that.
You know what?
around.
Raven.
When the man comes around.
Since you have no idea who this is, Shades, why don't you let us know what you thought of the trailer?
The trailer itself was pretty good. Kind of lost on who this character is still. I mean, I know from listening to you guys, just a dude in jail that got out and started messing people up like a monster. And then a rhino shows up.
The end.
I mean, it interests me enough that I'm going to at least watch it. I want to check it out, see what's going on, maybe get more of an idea. For that, I'm going to go with a mid.
Any interest in seeing it in theaters? Does it generate that kind of interest, or wait until you can get it digitally?
I go check it out in the theater. Sounds reasonable.
I'm a little curious and concerned. I know the initial teaser they put out didn't do very well. That version painted much more of the anti-hero story, and I feel like maybe they just redid the trailer to make him look more villainous, but I'm not convinced that's the angle. The footage does look better, a lot more intense. So for that, I think they at least made a better trailer, but I'm kind of like Shades. I think it's mid. It didn't do enough to erase my feelings from that first teaser. While it is better, I can't say it's anything more than just mid. I don't get it to the theater often, and so if it wasn't like a competitive time frame, if there weren't like more movies that I want to see, if I was looking to go check something out and it was there, nothing else to compete with, I would definitely check it out in theaters.
You're right. The original teaser definitely painted him more as an anti-villain. This one seems like I still don't understand fully where the story is going. Now, if this is some sort of comic arc that I'm unaware of, is possible. You know, it's interesting. It's got Russell Crowe in it, and you know, Russell Crowe's a great actor. Even in movies he's in that aren't great movies, he's usually the silver lining in those movies. I'm interested to see where they go with Rhino, and if it's just an absolute disgrace to the comics, or if it's an interesting take on it. I would think that depending on what's going on when this comes out, I'd be interested to go check it out for a review, but it's not something that I would necessarily rush out to see. I would typically probably wait until this comes out on digital, because I thought it was mid. Some of the action scenes looked pretty good and had me interested, but I'm just concerned with the story, especially with the Fox universe collapsing in on itself right now. What's the point of this is my real question. I mean, they already missed the window to put together a kick-ass Sinister Six. I guess we'll see where they go with this. But you know where you should go after this video? You should check out the rest of the videos in this series, because we've covered not just movie trailers, but movies and music. So if you'd like to get an eyeballs glance at the type of stuff that we're into and that we like to cover, maybe it's up your alley, maybe it's something that you didn't know existed and it could pique your interest, give it a watch. Let us know in the comments whether you think this was a fail fire or just plain mid, and if you plan on seeing it in theaters or waiting till it comes out on streaming. like and subscribe to the channel because we're putting out a lot of content right now. 3 to 5 videos a week. We're doing our thing, baby. We're doing our thing, and we'll keep doing our thing, and we'll keep bringing you all of that heat with the occasional mid or fail, because can't be fire all the time. We're Cyber Skull Media. This was Failure Fire, and we'll catch you in the next one. See you.